Child. Anyway, so
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaden, and if you're hearing me right now through any device, or if you're standing next to me right now and I'm talking to you, send me some money on Cash App. My Cash App is Jaden $ Jaden CB. I have Venmo as well. I can send you that information. I have Apple Pay. I have Zelle. I take cash. I take checks. I take money orders. I take cashier checks.
Oh,
Girl,
definitely.
mama, I
We
will.
definitely take
I will
cashier's
send
check.
you account information so you can wire and transfer that money straight to me. Domestic transfers are available. So and we'll get into why when I get into my moment of the week. But I'm just exhausted, and I just need some help from my community.
I think that when we get into it with the why, we can imagine why. That's really you're just going to be essentially selling us your story. We already know why you want that money because you need it. Yeah,
Yes,
and we also know why you might not get a lot of bites on that offer because we need it as
I
well.
need this.
I'm definitely going to amplify. I'm going to amplify your message for sure. That was $Jaden CB, and then
Mm-hmm.
he'll get you the other information. Cashier's checks, make those out to Jaden Cohen boys. Obviously,
I
that's
don't know who that is. That's not my name.
okay. Well, then make the cashier's checks out to Amira Lee. That's fine. I'll cash it for you, and
I'm
I'll
like, don't be
transfer
throwing
it.
my name
Girl,
out
not
there. I
either
don't.
one. Either one, please. Anyway, my name is Amira, and like you know how when your parents tell you something or your grandmother or whatever, and you're like, okay, okay, okay. Things I can't speak to your truth, Jaden, but my truth that my mother and other people older than me always say, take care of your teeth and your feet. Because
Hmm.
once they're done, they're done. They're done. Hair you can grow that out, whatever. But baby, those feet, I have suffered enough in this regard, Jaden. There is no reason for my what it was heel and this corner piece to be so dry and
Hmm.
so calloused. I'm like, I'm not working 80 hours a week. Like, yes, I'm on my feet a lot, but the friction of these
Right.
loafers, it's not right. And I feel like I do deserve compensation on the worker tip, you know?
Yes.
And also the thing that's annoying is when the people give you this sage advice, take care of your feet, take care of your blah. And what am I supposed to do? Get a job at Aldi so I can sit down? And that's not shade. I respect Aldi's model. They're the only grocery store doing it right.
Right.
You get to sit, you got to bag your own groceries. I love it. But enough, and I need you to hear this next part, is enough.
Yeah.
So matter of fact, go ahead and Venmo me as well so I can get my feet did.
It was funny is I actually, because you talked about the advice portion, I had just put on Tumblr earlier today. Not even 5 minutes in, but uh I had said advice without acknowledging capitalism is sorry,
I mean, like, what was I supposed to
not even five
do?
minutes in. But advice without acknowledging capitalism is a dream sold hollow. And I just feel like when
He's
when
been
we
reading poetry books.
when we Audrey Lord, this is for you.
Literally.
um, but it's like I was thinking, I forgot what like sparked that thought, but it was just like I hate when people try and give you advice or do all this speaking and all these engagements and then not address like the material issues that people are facing in the world. Like I don't get that.
Like,
I don't get
you
how you can just ignore and then
you
say
gonna
like
say
it's about you can get your money up, not your funny up. Like, well, nothing's funny, baby. Like it's actually
nothing.
terrifying out here.
This is
And you
serious.
you trying to just give just blanket advice without addressing like the issue everyone's facing.
And it's getting so bad out here that Jaden has turned to pandering on this podcast for money. It's just like, it's embarrassing. It's sad. But yes, to your point, it's so true. It's like when people are like, make sure you eat a balanced breakfast and sit down and have a slow start to your morning, get 8 hours of sleep. It really can't be both. I can't do 8 hours and have a slow morning because for me to get 8 hours now, I'm late to work, actually.
Okay. I can't have 8 hours of sleep and then also be working a full-time job, also have a side hustle, also be maintaining physical health, also be cooking, also be reading books, also be going to protests. Like something is going to have to
Exercising,
give.
cooking
Maintaining
fresh.
maintaining romantic relationships, maintaining friendships, platonic, maintaining familial relationships, having a pet, like and y'all are gonna tell me you just have to put this percentage aside to save, girl.
It's actually really pissing me off when I think about it because the advice when people are like, "Yeah, save 20% of every check." Are you being serious right now?
Girl,
20%?
I'm negative 20% every check. Like, what are you
Hello?
talking about? The bank is telling me that they need my 20% soon, or I'm gonna need
Correct.
another fee. Like, what are you talking about?
Correct. You know what? I just want to shout out this lady on the TD Bank help hotline. She really saved me. She really did me a good solid. I was a little bit confused because I not recently, but I transferred all of my savings into like a high yield savings account or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I didn't know that if you had less than $300 in your saving, they would charge you a maintenance fee of $5. So I called and I'm like, "What's this maintenance fee business?" She was like, "Oh, that's because of the service fee. So let me go ahead and refund you that." And then I see that you got another overdraft charge of 35. So let me refund you that as well.
Oh yeah,
Shout
they
out
can they
to
can refund you
whatever
all
her
your
name
overdraft
is.
fees,
I never knew that.
but it is they've done it for me when we were at school, and I went to the Wells Fargo like bank and
In
like sat
person.
down to like get something else handled, and she was like, "Oh, you've never had any issues, but we see like you have surcharges." Oh no, she never gave me my what's it called back, my overdraft fees, whatever. But she gave me my surcharges back from like PNC using it
Are
at
you
Wawa, whatever.
serious?
She gave me my surcharges back. Yes.
Okay, no, that I need because I can't like the 395, the 299. That's really disrespectful. The cash is in the machine already.
Okay, girl, you act like I phoned in a representative to bring it here fresh off the
Hello.
truck, fresh printed. Like, girl,
Like
I
it came
just
from the
need the
Brooks
money now.
truck. Like I
And
really
it's
will pull out a
like
crowbar. Do
no
not play.
fee. I hate when they say no fee and then you get charged a fee.
Because your bank is petty. Girl, I did not know this about the surcharge. Girl, I'm about to really call with the wavery voice and really be distraught. Like I need to they owe me some money.
They do.
Thank you, Jaden. Thank you,
You're
Jaden.
welcome.
More helpful advice to come. Where are we?
We're on a show, a banking show that we like to
Hmm.
call a banking show, but we both ask for money. Anyway,
Just like the bank, what?
well, clock
Hello?
it, clock it. The bank is the most handout ass institution I've ever met.
Baby, stay like this. This motion.
Always, just you come in to withdraw. They like, well, what about us?
What about us, Brandy?
You love a
Child, you
reference to a
didn't even say
song.
where we were.
I said anyway, child. Anyway, with Jaden and
Okay, well,
Amira.
it was giving so anyway, I missed it. Um, the first thing that we need to talk about is, I mean, we've already being charged by different places in that way is already a moment of the week. I'm sure you'll have more to speak on that later. But this is the moment of the week. This is where Jane and I talk about things from this week or last week, and sometimes maybe next week that made us say, "No, girl, you know you're wrong for that." Anyway, and you know what, Jaden? In the spirit of anti-capitalism, I'll go first. I'll let you rest. No labor for
Please.
you today, King. Um, so actually, this is actually pro-capitalism. The people that did this damage. So this isn't even a moment. This is just like an ongoing beef that I have. I'm gonna pause for the boos. Oh, boo, and the groans. Oh, groan. This is about the train. Right. Okay.
Well, actually, it's been a while
But
since you talked about the train.
correct. But it's not even just the train. It just happens the most at the train because where else am I besides the train and work?
Yes.
It gets on every nerve in my body, Jaden. When I get off work, hike over to the train, and the escalator is turned off. For what? Why is the escalator turned off and the elevator looks like it has just experienced a cafeteria food fight? I'm not getting inside. And now I gotta climb these freaking rocky like steps to get to the train. I just left the gym, so I don't have no leg strength for this. And it pisses
No,
me off even further when the first elevator is down, escalator, I'm sorry, the first escalator is down, but the second one is up or the reverse. Now you notice I just said two escalators. That feels like a lot of stairs as well, right?
it
So
is.
if they're both down, what's the problem? Today I had off from work, brag, and I went to TJ Maxx, no sponsorship. And why was the down escalator off? And the only other option was, of course, the elevator. But I don't trust no Marshall's elevator. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't. I had to climb the escalator down. It is the most like trippy slash visual
It's very
optical
false.
illusion. It's so
Yeah,
scary to climb up or down when they're not on because the lines are blah blah blahing all over the place. And it's just not an experience. I'm sorry, not an experience that I recommend. I don't like it and it drives me up a wall every single time I see that an escalator is down. And I know that the reason is probably to save money on the energy that it costs to run them on off busy times, but it's not peak busy. But it is busy. You know why? Because I just got off work. So turn it on before I turn it up in here and start cussing people out. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that because I just got off work and I'm tired. But I just wanted to share. Sound off in the chat if that also bothers you. Thank you. Jaden, what is your moment of the week?
I can attest to what you're saying as well. Because
Thank you.
before I get to my moment, I'm thinking about in DC, the
Mm,
the ones from
mm.
the metro
Yes, and
when
those are
they are
steep.
off. And first of all, there's already rules and regulations to
I
getting on the
know.
escalator. If you don't know, in DC at least, I won't speak for everywhere else, but in
It's only
DC,
DC.
we were literally told, because I went for an internship program, we were told by the people in the internship program, like, yeah, do this or you will get pushed out the way. And so you're supposed to stand. If you're standing on the escalator and you're going to ride up the entire way and not move, you need to be on the right side of the escalator.
Mhm.
It's because people on the left are going to be moving up past you. I mean, it's very efficient as far as like,
I know.
sharing this kind of momentous like thing, and
Right.
like, we'll call it a ride, I guess. But like, it's very, it's useful to know. But when the escalator is no longer on, it's hell for everyone. You thought you could stand to the right or left, baby, but you're gonna have to move them feet. Like,
It's devastating.
it literally does not matter what you planned
It's
on doing.
so
And I understand that you had to stand the entire ride from this stop for 25 minutes to the next stop. Excuse me.
bless you.
But you're also gonna have to walk up these steps and then walk 4 more blocks home. So have fun. We really love you.
The escalators in DC are so steep, so it
They're
is a
so
ride.
steep, and
To
it's
even
a
imagine
lot.
the stairs.
It's going from it's like going to any metro kind of system. Like, you're going underground, so the
Yeah,
escalator is coming from underground to ground.
all the way up.
Like, I guess that's what it is, ground.
Ground,
Ground
yeah.
level. And so to march up them steps, you need to literally be using full knee. It's like Elf when he did the split all the way up. Like, that's how much leg
Yes.
space you have to have.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
in DC, it is a wonder when you first go to like the DC Metro. Like it just looks so different than like New York public transportation and Philly's train
yeah,
stations or whatever. It's beautiful,
it is beautiful.
but also too many steps. Anyway, girl.
I like the ones you could just
But
walk up and or like you walk up the stairs to get onto the train versus like
going down,
know,
right? Yeah. No. I don't.
Like, why do I have to enter hell to get to my next
Hello, it's hot. It's sticky now. Something just ran past me. I saw it in my
Okay.
peripheral vision.
Did y'all see that?
Was that just me? Because I looked over and there's nothing there, but I saw something move.
Anyway, my moment of the week has to do with my vehicle, child. So as we know, I think I talked about it, like the undercarriage to my car was broken, or like it looked a mess for a very long time. And this was after I hit that animal, and like it tore the rest of it.
Wait, you did not. I don't know. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, we do, because I know I
You
talked
hit
about
an
it.
animal. You might have talked about it with somebody else. The
No,
listeners
mama.
have no clue. An animal.
Remember, I was coming home late and something jumped out in the road, and that's because you don't remember what I say.
I remember everything you say. This is not even possible.
Let me go back and look at these old files, because
Girl,
there's no way.
You hit an animal, supposedly, and then you
allegedly
just left the carcass under the car till yesterday.
No. Let me just give some context. Clearly, it's needed. So basically, there was already like a flap hanging down on the undercarriage of the front of my car, because I pulled up too far at one of the things, at a parking spot, and it ripped it. And so it was on like the left side, but it was still like, ugh, that's annoying. So one day I'm driving home. It was late. I was coming from a friend's house, and I'm driving, and I hear like a loud boom, like, and I like swore my tires had to go flat, because as we know from this show, my tire loves to be flat.
It does.
And we'll get back to this point. You don't even need to knock wood, baby. It's already a thing. So, like, girl, we're a little too late for the wood knocking.
I'll take it back.
Don't even waste it. Like, the wood didn't even deserve it. So when I got home and my tire wasn't flat, because I was literally almost home, like I was not even 5 minutes away. Tire wasn't going flat. I said, oh, okay, so it must have just been like a pothole or something. The next day, I'm driving from work and I hear something scraping the ground. And once I get home, not only do I see the undercarriage scraping the ground, I also see fur on my bumper. So I said, oh, something jumped out last night and let me hit it. Because it wasn't even... No, let's make sure that's clear. No. Because I was observant, and nothing was on the road. I think something jumped. You know how they like to play. You know how these animals love to play.
They do.
And nothing also went under my wheel. Like, I didn't do like a bump or anything. It was just
the physical demonstration.
I didn't do like an actual bump or like a thunk. It was like boom. So I'm like, oh. So then when I just see it dragging, and it's just so embarrassing to have a drag. I'm not necessarily embarrassed by it as much as people will stare at my car and at me driving past, because this thing is dragging on the ground. And it's
baby, they're looking at the animal fur and the legs.
Well, no, you can't see all that. You cannot see all that. It was not that much. It was literally not that much. And I like kicked off as much as I could. But you can hear it scraping. So it's also, you can hear me coming. Like, as I'm driving next to you, you can hear something scraping the ground. Like, so you turn and look, and then you see my car, which people think is nice. And then you see the bottom, and you can just tell, like, people are thinking, like, he messed that car up. He tore that car up. What is he doing? Oh, my God. So that pissed me off already, because I'm already in my head. So watching other people react to my little thing scraping. And mind you, this is before I got into the accident at Dunkin'.
You have too much stuff. You might need to switch to my method and just get on that train, baby.
I'm ready to. So hold on. So on Saturday, mind you, I just got my car fixed. Let's talk about how much it costs to get a car fixed. For the undercarriage, the little material and fabric, I paid almost $700 for labor, parts, and then labor again.
How's it both? How's it twice?
Because when I first dropped it off, there's no option for like undercarriage, so it was a diagnosis, diagnostics test. So I wanted them to kind of see what was wrong with it to determine what was needed. And then they had to order a part, which the part was like almost $500. And then I had to, when I dropped it back off to get actually fixed, then I had to pay for the the labor again. So that was that. That was on Thursday. On Saturday, I'm driving, listening to my friend's directions, and I don't be driving around certain parts of New Jersey. Girl, I stay in my routes that I know how to get to, and I go the fuck home. Like, I don't be driving all around trying to, no. I'm driving, and she's like, oh, it's the left right here. I start making a left. Why am I seeing a median? Not the big one, but like the curb one, because we were going to Yard House, so at the mall. So I pull in, and I see it. I start screaming because what else am I supposed to do? I'm already like at it. Like I'm already at it. So braking is not going to help. Like nothing I can do will help. So screaming is the best I have for you. So literally get past that. I'm instantly pissed off, instantly mad, because if this fucked the front of my car up, I would have literally lost it. I told my friend, I said, if my car, the front got fucked up, the undercarriage, I said, I would have probably tried to crash it somewhere. I said, because at this point, this whole car has to go. Like, I can't do it. $700 to be scraped within the next 2 days. This car has to go. I don't know what possession is happening or what demon I brought into this car that's constantly putting me in harm's way, but something has to break. So then right after that, my tire is going flat, and not even just going flat, it is flat. 2 seconds, like it wasn't like you know how it goes flat over time. 2 seconds later, I hear it riding.
Are you serious?
Riding steel to concrete. And I said, I just can't catch a break because it's also raining. We're also heading to Yard House. We're also not there. We're at the mall. We're too far for us to just get out and walk because, again, raining. But we're also not far enough to just chalk it because we're right here. Like, we're already at Yard House, essentially. It's just on the other side of the mall. So guess what I have to do? Change my tire in the rain. And I have AAA. So, and I texted my mom. She was like, why didn't you call AAA? I said, because I'm too far. Like, I'm too far to walk the extra mile to get there and then have to walk back to come see AAA handle my car. It'd be different if I was at Yard House already and it was going flat and I could just call them while I'm inside eating. They would come and they would be all that. No, none of that was available. I'm too far, but also too close, but also too far. And I'm doing this in the rain, and a tire is not going to be cheap. And I just was dropping hundreds of dollars for this other part of my car. Like, hence why I'm referring everyone currently back to the Cash App, $JadenCB. Please feel free to donate. It is much needed. I literally can't take it anymore.
First of all, I am so sorry to hear this. Like, I don't know firsthand experience, but I grew up in a car house. There's absolutely, there are things that are worse, but to be dramatic, there's nothing worse than having to pay for something with car, because it's not like once you pay for it, you're done. It's like once you pay for it, you're waiting to the next time you got to pay for something else.
Okay, and I have plenty of maintenance that I actually need to get done. Like, correct. I need a tune-up that costs $400. I need a new brake pads. They told me that costs $700. Leave me alone. Keep the car. Keep it.
Capitalism did an excellent job with making these cities so car reliant and making anything so expensive.
So expensive. Yes.
It really puts into perspective my tiny issues. Okay, the train was delayed, but I paid $2 to ride, you know.
Right.
Oh no, I'm still gonna complain.
Oh no, as you
But
should.
that is absolutely insane. So your tire that went flat, was it like was there a hole in it or something? Why you have
I
to
didn't even
replace
get
the
a
whole
chance to look.
tire?
I
So you
have
put the donut
a
on.
I had it's a donut on there now. Um, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to like look to see how it was flat because I just couldn't take it. Like honestly, it would not have helped my situation at the time. I can go check now, but at the time, like I was so pissed
For
off that
what?
if I would have gone to check and saw how flat it was or how it got flat, it would have been in my windshield. So I'm just happy I did
And then so after this, after you change your tire, you get back in the car, wet and pissed, and then you proceed to the restaurant
it.
and eat
Absolutely,
and be merry.
I had to be
Hmm.
because if not, I was going to come home and sit in that heat, in that and fester in
Mm.
it, and that would not have been good for anyone because
Well,
then I would have had to get on Twitter or somewhere else and cause havoc. And there was too much already
yeah.
going on Twitter.
Mm. So then I guess the real question that others want to know is what did you order? It wasn't
So
good.
we had we shared nachos, chicken nachos. When I tell you, woke up the next day thinking about them, they were
Mm,
so good. And then I had a Nashville chicken sandwich, like a Nashville hot chicken sandwich
mm,
with sweet potato fries. Delicious.
you
You,
lost me.
I know, I know.
You, I never
I
would have
love
paid you for
them.
it. I
I
never would have
love
picked
sweet
that for
potato
you.
fries. We go through this every time. You
Do you eat it with
don't like
ketchup
them.
though? Like I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get with it.
It's so yummy. I
I
literally
wish
love sweet
I
potato fries.
wish I loved them. I really do. Same thing with coconut. Anyway, so did you have anything to drink?
Oh yeah, I had this one margarita. It was like plus something. It ended up being a spicy drink, and I don't like spicy drinks.
Did you read that it was spicy, or you just were surprised?
I asked her the waiter what she recommends, and she pointed at that one. And my friend was like, "Oh, that sounds like it's gonna be good." She likes to cook, so she knew what the hell the thing was. I thought it was a cute name for a drink, so I order it, and then it comes out, and I said, "Oh, this is this
Spicy.
interesting." But I put a little lime in it. It got rid of some of that heat.
Yeah.
And then I
Wait.
had another drink. I don't remember what that one was.
I don't know. Like, it's just so random. We'll talk about food, and then it's like this is not even what the show's about. But I'm just really curious. Are you a dessert girl?
Yes,
You
sometimes
do you, do you strategically save space for dessert, or by the time you get to the end of the meal, you just so happen to have space?
it depends. Sometimes, like okay, the next day on Cinco de Mayo, I went to PJ's and
Mm,
I knew I wanted dessert, so like I made room. But when I went to Yard House, I had no intentions of getting dessert because I was full.
hmm. Praise
The
the
nachos
Lord.
were huge. Like
I love nachos.
it was so good. Oh my god.
There are some restaurants who I've never had the dessert. I don't even know what desserts they offer, or even if they have it. Like I
Recommendation:
just
PJ's, PJ Wellahans, because the girls don't know what PJ's are outside of like down here apparently. Um, if you want a dessert, the salted caramel cookie with ice cream, bruh. Me and Denise went, and she's not a dessert girl at all. I said, I'm ordering it, and you're gonna love it. So then I order it, and we start eating it, and she's like, I said, it's good, ain't it? She said, so good. And I'm like, absolutely.
yeah, that's kind of a double-edged sword though, because now it's like, slow down, baby.
Like, don't finish my dessert.
Don't get hyped now. Don't go over half. Really, stay under half for real. Speaking of half, let's get into the catch. Not sure that transition. The first thing that is always going to be the first thing. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Child Anyway Pod, and aspirationally follow us on TikTok at Child Anyway the podcast. I think maybe once our follower count is the same
Increases.
or it surpasses our listener count, then maybe we'll, you know, feel
We'll
inclined to
dedicate
make it.
time.
You know what I mean? And when we say we mean you.
Yeah.
Because I can't get on TikTok. I'm sorry. It's just
Do you want to know
too
something?
easy.
There's so many TikToks in your messages
I
that I
know.
send you. I
I've
sent
seen
you.
them.
I still send you them and don't
And
care.
no, please do. I get
Okay.
on because sometimes people will send me like directly to my text, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I'll go look. And then the notifications are out of this world. And I'm like, because like I said, it's just too easy. That's the only reason I'm off, because it's too easy to be sucked in for hours,
And the
you
worst
know?
part about it is the friends. Like, I feel like every time, and I go on probably twice a week, maybe. And every time I can go on daily and then get on and see messages, and it's like 40 something. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How? And it's 18 different people sending me one thing or like two things. Like,
It's just too much. Like it's just too easy to get sucked in. The other day I almost got sucked back into Instagram, and I'm like, girl, get off. Read a book. So I did. Anyway, in other
scam.
news, something to say? Oh, okay. In other news, speaking of disrespect, because Jaden is so bent on trying to play me. Jaden, rhetorical question. Why is it that racist white America, some of that felt redundant, are always so pressed on being on the wrong side of history and being so loud and picking up a sign to protest just for the sake of being against the good
What?
people?
Right. What black and brown people
Or
are
like just
rallying
the
around
good,
for.
like even if it has nothing to do with them, they benefit in no way. And most times they actually won't
Agree.
benefit. They won't benefit because the government at the end of the day don't care about you either. You're just a bigger dollar sign to them. Um, I don't understand that. So recently or lately, we talked about this, I think maybe 2 weeks ago or maybe last episode, I can't remember, about the different universities and student campuses that were like holding pro Palestine, not even protests really, but yeah, I guess protests slash rallies. And
Encampments.
then, yeah. And then there was the other side, which is all, they always look the same for no
Mhm.
reason at all. Once again, please say very plainly what exactly you're out here for. No reason exactly. You just saw some people that didn't look like you, and you were like, well, let me just go against them. I'm sure you've seen it. There was a video of this guy from wherever university, probably somewhere.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't want to stereotype and say something in the South, but I knew that it was giving old something.
It was Ole
He
Miss.
was giving us monkey sound, ooh scratching the armpit in the direction of like black and brown folks. And it's like, number one, that doesn't even make sense for your argument. It's not even like they're out there to say like Black Lives Matter. Like now that would make sense.
Right.
Like it'd be trifling, but it would make sense.
Right.
Like, oh, Black Lives Matter, really? Because you're a monkey. Like that makes sense. Like, don't do it, but it makes sense. This what? Palestine? And then there just so happened to be a black person there and she's a monkey?
And the,
How's
and
she
the thing is, a lot of white Americans are anti-Semitic. So like they would not even be for what we're talking about. Like your racism isn't even like justified.
it's not even
Like not to
relevant.
say it could ever be justified, but like if we were in some reality to justify a racism for the race that you're talking to, it's just because she's black. Like that's really it. Because the cause that she's here for has nothing to do with her being black, actually.
Nothing. It's like when you're like going back and forth with someone and you just start dragging them for everything.
And it's
You're just
like,
like low hanging fruit. Like, baby,
sure.
let's get creative with the
And
racism, with the
and then it's like
anti-Semitism.
y'all really just showed up just to be in the way. Like
Just cause.
you saw black people out there protesting about something you literally don't even care about, and you're like, mm-mm. And you're bringing an American flag, and you don't even know why you have it. You can't disrespect the USA. What are you talking about?
What are you saying? What do you think we're asking for?
Quickly, no, you're wrong.
it's just like killing two birds with one stone, I guess. Is like, I'm gonna insult your movement, and you know what? I'll throw in a little racism directly for you as a
But
treat.
they're not even insulting the movement. They're just
Directly in the
he
racism.
doesn't like it's just the racism, like because they don't even know what the movement is. It's not even a counter movement as much as it's just like racism on the outer bounds of our actual movement. Like it's not even a counter of anything
You know
that's
what?
actually being said or going on. It's we're just gonna be racist right here. Like y'all are here pushing for the end of genocide, but we're gonna be racist right here.
It's like the antithesis of that Bible verse that's like where two or more gathered in your name, there you are. It's the opposite of that. It's the antithesis where there's like two or more black or brown. Here come the races. It doesn't
Here
matter.
come the
Y'all are eating
racists,
lunch,
especially in
but
Mississippi.
there's more than two of you. Time to start making monkey sounds. What? I'm here to buy a pastry. What does
Okay.
that have to do with? Do
Like
you want
actually,
my money?
if I told you what was going on, you'd probably also be over here. You still be making monkey sounds at me, but you'd probably still be right
From
here.
this side, yeah, you would at least be standing with me as we, which
Though
is
yours would likely
very
be
true.
anti-Semitism, not even like about Israel the state. It's just about Jewish people in general.
It just makes no sense. Like, I mean, like you said, it never makes sense, but it makes
It's like
it's
it's stupid. It's
baffling.
weird to even like address or talk about because it's like there's no justification for racism ever, but your racism isn't justified.
It's just like that
Like
was like
I can
the stupid
expect
stupid
at a Black Lives Matter protest for
for
y'all to be
sure.
out there calling people monkeys. Like those things correlate, and there's no correlation. That's what it is. Like there's no correlation between you making monkey sounds, calling people monkeys, and the ending of genocide in Palestine.
What does it like? People are they're just catching strays for no reason. Like, okay, put the blacks in the back then because people are getting distracted. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. Like, if you're gonna be over there, at least have something that makes sense. And this is why we have to ignore you. And then the thing that really gets on my nerves, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really gonna be honest. It gets on my nerves when people like this person who are doing what everybody else is doing, and then they're like, he's been expelled, he's been fired. Why? His boss is probably right behind him. Actually,
Okay, he drove him
we
there and
know
dropped
it's
him off.
just to save face, but it's like at
They
this
all
point
work
you're
in one
keeping up with
office.
appearances. It's just so annoying. Like, okay, he got fired, but he probably just got moved to a different department.
Right. And
And
I
then they're like,
also hate the arguing with them. Like, can we just move over here? Like, can we focus back on what we came here to do?
that's
Even
what
at
I'm
Pride, when
saying.
at Pride, the people who are like, love God, God hates you queer people, and the whole nine. And it's like, why are we over here arguing with him? We can't go back and do belly shots or whatever. Like, I don't understand why we're over here talking to him.
Exactly.
He can't
To
talk to
me, it's
himself.
like just do an
Talk to
extra
God.
spin in their direction and then move on. Don't waste any time. What's the point? We all know, or at least we all should know, that arguing with these people is pointless because it's not like they're having a conversation because they're trying to reach an understanding. There is no possibility that they're going to walk away with a changed heart and like actually hear you out and consider what you're saying.
Right.
Even if they do, just to spite you, they're not going to. You know what? I thought about it, and black people aren't monkeys. What? We still weren't talking about that. Anyway, it's just really random to me because I mean it's not random, it's actually pretty consistent across history, but it's like the dedication to always be on the wrong side of history. It's honestly impressive.
But it's
It's
like when you
actually
know it's going to be
amazing.
rewritten anyway, why not? Like if it's going
That's
to be rewritten to you being on the right side, you can literally do whatever you want.
That is true, but at the same time, like it's very different than their grandfather's monkey sound. You know, now
Sure.
we've got you on HD camera. Like your granddad, he rewrote the history book and he profited off the retelling of the story that made him the hero. You know, it's like the victor writes the story. In this example, baby, there's even when we rewrite history. Fortunately, I believe that our generation and the generation beneath or younger than us will remember. There's no like Oh, yeah, it was kind of bad. No, we're going to remember who was doing what, who was saying what. We have the footage, actually. Even if you take it off the internet, somebody has screen recorded. The girls love to screen record. It's actually pretty amazing how they have footage after somebody has deleted something. It's like, y'all work a little bit too quick.
Right.
Um, but in regards to that, um, the US government is, I mean, like, I can't think, even though I read a lot of books, I haven't come up with a word that really grasps the magnitude of evil and disgusting and vile and sick and dehumanizing and just ugh, of the US and Israeli government. So, I mean, for those of you who don't know, which if you listen to this podcast, you probably do, but there is a chance that you may not. Um, what was it yesterday or the day
Mm-hmm.
before? Yesterday.
That's right.
Yesterday. Well, throughout this course of time, they've been telling the people in Palestine, or specifically on the Gaza Strip, migrate, was it south? This is going to be a safe haven, be there or be square. And they've been like essentially just bombing their way down. Last night, they were bombing like in nonstop this supposedly safe haven of a place. And in this same space that this is happening, there's like all these videos once again about the this is not your granddad's monkey sound. There's all these videos of the soldiers, Israeli soldiers, like dancing and celebrating and being all happy and jovial. And I want to know when we as a working class, like lower class, whatever, blue collar, not government people started differentiating the people from the government,
Mm-hmm.
like people who even fought in World War One, two, Vietnam, all that, every major war, they know that they don't have any beef. They know they're fighting someone else's thing. They know the civilians have done nothing wrong. Of course, they try to convince themselves so they can pull the trigger or do whatever. But nobody leaves these wars like we did such a great job. We took down the evil. You did it. They all know the people who are really evil and who really have beef are at the top. But there seems to be some sort of a, and like we said before we started recording, very dystopian change and like lens of the people where they truly are believing the people as evil and like the people have personally done something to deserve. I mean, I know they do it to justify their evil actions, but it's just so bizarre. Like I've never seen a time where the people are so gung ho for the government.
And it's it's so weird. Like, I don't understand. I do understand, obviously, but at some point, and I think it's a little different for like America, and to say like when things kind of take place, not when they're overseas in other places, but I'm saying like, and I think I'm more so talking about like police than military, like
Hmm.
army and whatever. Um, like at some point you're going to have to be killing like your own. Um, and then it's going to be too late, or they're going to put like your white mates in your hometown and putting you in there. Like
Right.
they're going to be positioning you to be attacking people who essentially likely don't look like you, so you are able to justify it in your head. But I don't understand going to. It's just a little different because there's been taught indoctrination, though they've honestly learned that from everywhere else, America and the UK and everywhere else. But there's a learned indoctrination in school about who Palestinians are, and like they're, they say they're terrorists. They say that openly in school, in younger education, like early childhood
Mm.
education. That's how they're brought up. So by the time they reach status to go be in the IOF, like that's they think it's a badge of honor. Like they're happy to go do it because they have to maintain their home from whatever thing, their homeland that they're returning back to.
It is so like archaic. It feels so biblical. It feels also so post. It feels so pre to truly say these people are evil. The next best thing would be for us to just kill them before they can become evil. Slash, the evil's already in them because their blood is their blood.
Right.
Like children, and you're dancing. Once again, you and I, Jaden, we talked about this. I know that you have one. I don't have a heaven or hell to put people in. I know you have one. Um, but if I did, and I want to believe that the one that others have, there's no way they're getting in.
No,
You're not getting in. You killed
not at
innocent
all.
children on
And
purpose.
I think it's interesting how people still don't fully understand what's going on. Like after all the information has come out, after all this like over explaining, the recontextualizing, the re-explaining,
The
um
infographics, the little video explainers.
okay, the carousels on Instagram, the threads on Twitter, the threads on threads,
Right.
like there's still so much confusion, like, and it's creating room for people to be anti-Semitic. I believe that's absolutely 100% true. Because a lot of people are not even realizing like the things that they're saying are anti-Semitic. Uh, but this is about Israel, which is very different from being Jewish. They're using their Jewish status, their claimed Jewish status,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
to blanket over their crimes. But you do not have to be Jewish to be Israeli. Joe Biden thinks he's Israeli. Hello.
Joe Biden doesn't know what today is. Joe Biden forgot his name this morning, and that is not that. That's not a dig at folks suffering with dementia. That's just a dig at Robinette personally.
Well, yes. And well, but there are Jewish Palestinians, and I think people don't necessarily recognize this. There are
Exactly.
several of them. Like they may be predominantly Muslim, but there are several Jewish Palestinians and Christian Palestinians, and a lot of what was in Gaza not Gaza, in Palestine pre Nakba, which is like the, if you don't know what the Nakba is, that's the in 1948 when Jewish settlers took over Palestinian homes. People would leave to go to their appointments, whatever, and come back and their lives were changed from people that they let stay in their homes because they were displaced from World War II. Whole thing.
Wild.
You can get
Wild.
into the research and the depth of it, and maybe I know there's something I can find to give you like it's long, but it's probably worth for people to kind of have access to. But this is home to some of the oldest Christian, Muslim, and Jewish artifacts. Like this is said to be where these religions were birthed out of. So for now, colonizers to come back and make it seem like they've been undertaken, and then to keep finding out more information about them actually owning the said genocide, but still having to fight through that and only being believed, or only it really getting some traction when students of America got involved. That's the only time. Well, really, when Americans or non-Palestinians died. Remember when
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's kind of when it
Remember.
first kind of like people started getting more interested as far as like news and media outlets. But what did it was students getting involved. That's now pushed it over the line where you're going to hear about it more in daily conversation. Where before people could still lock their phone, not bring it up, not address it. Now that it's a part of the student like
Yeah.
movement, child, the girls know what's going on. And I'm like, where was y'all at? Like, this has been going on not only for literally decades, but also since October. Like, have y'all just been ignoring this whole time, or are we just going to act like y'all didn't see it?
To what you're saying, like you can't be people being confused, like there's no excuse. I can accept confused, but I cannot accept neutral. Because
No.
even if you're confused with like how it got started, you don't need to know how it got started to see that the ends doesn't justify the means, or however that expression goes. Like even if you just joined the conversation when there were those supposed when Hamas supposedly had those, what do they call them? You take someone in hostages.
Mm-hmm.
So in your mind, like there's no way that in your American mind that it makes sense for you to bomb a large swath of area to get the captors of a hostage? What if the
Hello,
hostages were in that area? If you really believed that you were doing that, wouldn't you think that maybe the hostages could have been there too? Maybe. So
hello.
being
Do you know how
confused,
many
I will
hostages
allow.
were killed by Israeli bombing? Several,
Girl, they don't
several.
care. I can allow your confusion a little bit, but like I said, the neutral, I'm just not gonna do. It just makes no sense to be neutral. Like it's like for you to be neutral, it lets me know that you truly your news source is truly turning on your TV and watching the very biased, very paid for broadcast, very sponsored. Like Robinette is so you know what? He's not dumb. He thinks we're dumb. He thinks
Yes,
we are so beyond dumb. Some
and
people
he's
are. Some
sending.
people are falling
He's
for it
trying
though.
to. He called for a ceasefire and sent millions of dollars over for more weapons.
Does he
And
think the girls don't read the dockets anymore?
okay, does he?
Dockets
Does he not
online.
know that we're watching? Like, I don't. At this point, how do you not recognize that everyone's literally watching
You see
you
the
and
power
seeing
of
the
the
decisions you
internet.
make?
You see the power of the internet. That's why you're trying to ban different things. You don't think that they saw you do it? You don't think we saw you give the cue after you left the
Right.
podium talking about ceasefire? We saw you hit the red button.
And even I was talking to my grandmother about it, and this was probably around October, and she was like, "Oh, this has been going on for centuries." I said, "No." I said, "You would think about how they talk about it, that Israel has been around forever." I said, "Granny, you're older than Israel, baby." Like, she was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, that's so sweet.
Like, Mama, you outsold. Like, no shade.
Right, right, right,
Israel
right.
is way younger than you. Not way younger.
I
Let me not do that.
love you getting to educate your grandmother and her being receptive to that. I love that.
Yes. And then she's not to say she did any further research after that, but it's just like um kind of breaking that, breaking the
Hmm.
I think naturally when things like this happen, there's a lot of people, and this is not natural but conditioning, build a wall of not having to do with me, or like they're able to put something there to remove themselves from having to be involved or invested or having to care. So
Hmm.
to say like this has been happening for so long was an excuse to say like this has nothing to do with me, or to
You have
say
to distance
like
yourself, right?
to distance myself from the actual issue. So when I break that down, I'm like, actually, you're older than this issue that's currently going on, and they've been lying
Right.
about it to you intentionally, so you would feel this way. It's able to it's harder to have this cognitive dissonance, and it's like if most people knew the real issues of what's going on, not even just in Palestine, but also Sudan, Congo, Haiti,
Hawaii,
everywhere, like if they
Puerto
knew,
Rico.
they'd actually be a lot more pissed off. But I still struggle to think that people would do anything about it, because people also are like, I have my own life to live, I have my own struggles, and it's like, but do you not see how your struggle is literally tied to theirs? Like, you think what's happening in Palestine right now isn't going to happen here based on how this economy is going? I've said it several times. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. There are cop cities being built around America. There's one in Pennsylvania. There's one in New Jersey. There's one in Atlanta being built, which is the one that's gotten the attention. But there's been uh, someone looked up to see like other facilities, and there's hundreds of them are either being voted on currently, either already in progress, either already opened, or like was closed now opening, or like a repurposed location kind of thing.
Hmm.
A Why do we need so many cop cities? Why do we need huge training centers for police? Let's think really quickly about why we would need something like that. Why would you need to
What are you
militarize
preparing for?
police? This is not the
What are
military
you?
we're talking about. This is not a base or whatever. These are specifically for people to become cops, learn tactics that they're getting from Israel, that Israel is doing on Palestinians. They're going to bring that back, learn it, and then inflict it on guess who? And it's not the people screaming about monkeys.
No, baby. I was gonna say I would love to see it inside these minds, but I don't. I fear the darkness that I would
Yeah.
find. I, like I said, I just cannot gather a word juicy enough. Like it just is. It's mind-boggling. It's baffling. It's wake up. Like the people. It does feel sometimes like, oh, what can I do? For not this example, because we see like how the movement really has made a dent, but like in other situations. The first thing is stop buying new iPhones. You don't need a
Yes.
new
You
phone.
don't need it.
It's like that concept when people are like, well, you're like, don't waste paper. And you're like, well, the paper's already wasted. It's right there. Well, yeah, but then when you use it, we gotta buy a new thing. So
Right.
don't waste it. Well, the phone is already at the store. Yeah, but if nobody touches it at the store
But they don't need
and
to
they
make
don't
more.
sell anymore, I don't think we stopped needing new iPhones a long time ago, for being honest. A long
When Steve
time
Jobs
ago.
died, we
Correct. We could have stuck right there.
that was the official like shift. iPhones did not come out so often when he was alive
No, because they
because
were
it was about
different each
innovation. It was
time.
about
Right.
yes, it was about growing and advancing this thing versus now it's about not to say he was a good person because
No.
the transfer to using the Congo's resources and whatnot did not start after he died.
No.
Let's make that
No.
clear. But there was innovation towards at least to justify even getting a new phone or whatever, because it will be a new thing where it's now no button or it's now I don't know. Fuck all that.
Yeah, right.
But there's the overconsumption. We have to stop. Like
It's
I hate
ridiculous.
that people think that we can't do anything. There's actually so much we can do that there's plenty of lists that you can just do one item at a time. Like no one's asking you to do everything. Even when we get talking about the boycotts and then the BDS movement and all that stuff, if people actually took the time to read the infographic, no one
Mhm.
asked them to boycott 55 different things.
No.
The boycotts were different and they all were impacted in some different way. And so when we talk about like the consumption of it all, the protesting, the encampments, like there's so much to be done. Like even just going to an encampment and seeing it for yourself and supporting and showing a physical presentation of like I'm in solidarity with you means so much. Like people are literally being mass murdered. We are not able to go and protect them. We are not able to go rescue them. Like that's not something we are able to do. And I think we often think in extremes in that way of like, if I can't do the most by curling them up and bringing them on my PJ back home, then I can't do anything. And it's like, well, that's not true. You could start off by learning what's going on and being equipped with information and knowledge. And if you don't have time for that, first of all, there's videos and written and like audio. There's plenty.
Podcasts, books,
There's
yeah.
the YouTube video I suggested a few weeks ago by Dr. Fatima. Like I said, it was long, and I know how to go about long videos, but I'm a breaker upper of a video. I've been watching a movie. Sorry, that was. I've been watching a movie for the past 2 days, and I will watch it,
I do that.
pause it, go live the
Come
rest of my
back.
life, come back to it when it's time to eat again, keep watching it. I'm not even
So
done
real.
yet. I'm still not done, and I watched
So
it today,
real.
watched it yesterday. I'm not done. That video, and the reason I keep bringing up that video brought me to tears. I literally was crying at the end of it. Because she talks about astronomy, which is like the study of planets and whatnot. She talks about colonization through this specific world, and then talks about Palestine, and then brings it to another. Like it's just that's one of the best videos I've ever seen in my entire life. When I say highly recommend it, I think it's a must watch.
Did you link
Actually,
it on the Insta?
no, but now that you say that, I definitely let me put it here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because the girls want to just click. They don't want to search.
No, they do not. Searching is too much.
Correct.
But even with that, back to what I'm saying, like there's so much that can be done, and she gives what's great is at the end of her video as well, before the crying part. There's a part that she talks about the things you can do. Like she gives you actionable things that you can go put your body on the line for, but she also gives like things you could do sitting in your seat right now, things that take minutes to do, things that it's done over time. You can call these people, you can reach out to, you can donate here, you can. She gives a lot that you can do, and it's like just pick something and do it. One, you have the power to make change. It takes one person many times. Like it takes me, you, this person, this dog. Like it takes individuals all doing something to push it forward. So to think that you are not able to be a part of something or to be a part of change is so like it's not even historically accurate. Like only times things have changed are when we've done something about it. Like the only time we've gotten the right to vote or rights in general or like the ability to be seen as people came because bodies were on the line. Like the end of the Civil War in America, first of all, that's already misspoken about. No shade, because the enslaved people were the ones who actually ended said war, but we won't get into that. But we can, but we won't.
And have people been like people are still enslaved today in America? So
well, yes, and it's like there's something you can do about that as well. There's plenty to do. I think everyone thinks they have to do everything, and it's like no, you just have to do one thing. Like if everyone's focused on their one area that they want to, of course, Palestine, Congo, genocides are going to take precedent over a lot. But there's bodies there too. Like there's bodies that are already doing this work. Say focuses on like child abuse. We need you focused there, but guess what? Child abuse has to do with genocide in Palestine. Like all your things, all of our things are tied together. So you doing your work and then you helping other people do their, like it's going to push us forward. And I think that's what people aren't getting.
Every industry is connected in this way, like you can think of any, I mean, because of capitalism just morphs it all together. Like even like you think of like the fashion industry. Okay, well, you got to also consider the labor that it takes to make these things, to produce them at such a high level for such a low price. And then like we said earlier, the iPhones. So it's all connected. You can do anything about you can do something about anything, I guess, is the thing. And just you have to figure out what your style is. If you know you're not a yeller, stand in the sun with a sign type of girl, but you know that you're a giver, drive up to these encampments, drive up to these protests and just drop off water,
Okay.
Just provide aid in that way. If you know that you're a stay in your house, click send some money and have somebody else do it then.
Okay.
Like there are people, like you said, there are people on the ground already doing these things, but they need money. They need the resources. So just send the money.
Right. And there's plenty of opportunities to help and share at these encampments. And I'll speak a little bit about them just quickly. There was one at Rutgers. I wanted to go, but I was going to end up going by myself.
There was one at UPenn too, I think, or Drexel.
Yeah, UPenn. Both. I know UPenn had one, but I'm not sure about Drexel. I wanted to go to the Rutgers one, but like I said, I was going by myself. And by the time I was going, I have someone who works at Rutgers, and he said the encampment was already, they were already packing up. Because 8 of their 10 requests were met.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And what was interesting is about kind of all the encampments and all the student protesting. If you don't know, New Jersey has Little Palestine. Like there's a place in New Jersey where there's a lot of Palestinian bodies and people. And there's a large Jewish community in New Jersey as well. Rutgers was one of the first schools doing anything about Palestine. Like any protesting, any trying to get divestment, like doing anything. Rutgers was one of the first. And it's interesting that when the Ivies got involved was when the media got involved. Just so that's clear. Like the most attention was brought from the Ivies and then UCLA, which I think is that Ivy too. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Child.
I just
The
know
only
how
Ivy I
Ivy
know
is.
is blue.
Well, baby, I know blue and poison. That's it. Go ahead.
But I saw a video yesterday, and maybe I can because you can remix something on Instagram and they'll just repost it essentially.
I have no idea what
Girl,
you're talking about.
you don't know. I'll probably repost that because it was someone who was at one of the encampments at Columbia, and she had talked about like people who don't believe in the revolution, like you need to come to an encampment. Essentially, this is not what she said, but the new world is being built there. Like she was like, we have a library, we have people doing art, we have dance circles, we have a nightly like reading session, we have like there are people who've been food insecure who are now like, this is the most food I've had in years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's people who were suffering from depression or whatever who finally feel supported. People who, and like there was so much community being done that it's showing people in real time what the new world possibilities are. And when we think about the new world that we want post capitalism, we have to start killing the capitalists within, like, because you'll only be able to think of things through surveillance, through violence, through prison, through hierarchy, through patriarchy. Like you'll only be able to think of these things these ways because of conditioning. No matter where you are falling into the thing, if you aren't doing the work to unlearn a lot of these things, when it's time to build a new world, you'll be bringing up prisons. You'll be bringing
stuff.
Like prison is not indigenous to this land. Like these things are not nature. These are built. These are things that are built and that can be unbuilt and destroyed and deconstructed and rebuilt in a new form. So yeah, it's just I'm gonna repost that and I'm gonna send that to you because that really like opened my eyes.
This was on Instagram?
It was on Instagram, yeah.
Okay, I'll look for it.
I can send it because I'll lose it to somebody else.
No, I mean I'll look for the message. I'm gonna be waiting.
I'm gonna send it to text because I got your bot, baby. I'm
grateful, thank you.
And what was frustrating about what was going on specifically in Rafah on Monday, other thing that happened on Monday was the Met Gala. And what's annoying about the Met Gala is it's my actual Super Bowl. So of course this is something I would be invested in. And I was, for the most part, though I was still invested in what was going on in Rafah. It's so weird and dystopian and allegorical, like to be watching the Hunger Games and I make up the mean. I know. Ain't read that many damn books. You
read a couple.
Ain't read enough. The Hunger Games is literally, and people are making this reference on Twitter, but like the Hunger Games is about watching kids die from the Capitol. Like the Capitol is about excess, is about money, is about like stardom, and they're watching the Hunger Games go on where children are forced to murder each other. Though this one is obviously different because they're not murdering each other, they're being murdered. We're still,
I mean, but it's still similar though, right? Because in the Hunger Games,
it's literally the same.
It goes from the districts, and the districts it lessens their distance, furthers their distance from the capital. So I mean, it's the same thing. They are killing each other. These IOF soldiers
are literally.
Baby, when you take off that uniform, who are you?
Right, a person. Well, yes.
Nobody. Actually, you're nobody.
Yeah, barely a person, just a vessel. But we're looking at the manga. Like, you watch a movie and you feel one way about this person, about this stance, about like what you're seeing, and then when it's happening to you in real life, you're actually doing the opposite. Like you're also watching the Capitol do their festivities, and it's. I tweeted this. I said it should be another highlight and flashlight on the US's involvement, because every time there is a special thing for America, there's an extra special death for Palestinians. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Oscars, the Grammys, I think,
The Super Bowl.
the Super Bowl, the Met Gala. Every single time we've had one of these big events, there's been a larger invasion going on in Palestine. Like, I think in Rafah, they started their ground invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And then to think of the Met Gala, the theme was the Garden of Time, based on a book by some man who enjoyed writing dystopian stories. And in the story of the Garden of Time, this count lived in this mansion. He would look around, there was nothing there outside of like this mansion and his garden. And in the distance, he could see a mob of angry people mixed with women, children, men, and soldiers. And I'm laughing at you.
I know.
And he goes to the garden, and there's these certain roses, I think, I don't remember what kind of flower, a flower of time, that when he cuts the petal, it doesn't stop time, but it prolongs the amount of time between the mob getting to where the castle is and like whatnot. So it pushes
Is it a
them
lotus?
back.
Maybe.
It pushes them back more, or like I guess pause, whatever. But what's interesting is at some point the garden stops bearing flowers, and so at that point they know their death is inevitable. Whoa. So they keep cutting and cutting, and then one day they cut the last flower, and then they finally take over, and what they find is 2 statues of the count and the countess, like, erected. And it's just like,
whoa.
That being the theme of the gala, that's while cool. People are across the street protesting about the mass killing of people, is literally like the cognitive dissonance has to be out of this world. Like, to make that your theme. Mind you, you changed it to that theme. She wanted it to be Galliano, and that's a whole other thing. Anti-Semite, mind you. But he's too problematic, and the girls, they were not going to go for that.
Shut it down.
So they last minute changed it to the Garden of Time.
First of all, they could have had the Met Gala theme being Hitler, and celebrities were still going to show up in their best fits.
With a stash and all, and they combo. And while the inside, the actual, what's it called? It's also just an extension of like imperialism, but I'm not going to give y'all full abolition school today. I just can't. But it's just interesting that that's what was decided. Like, let's use The Garden of Time, a book about this thing, while there's going to be a ground invasion in in Palestine.
She's sick for that.
They all are. And the fact that y'all would go, obviously some of the girls heard Garden of Time and wore flowers and was like, that's all I got for y'all. But some people read the book, and it's like, once you read the book or once you know about the book, why would you go?
You know what? First of all, they didn't read the book. The designer read the book, told them what to say on the red carpet, and that was that. But let me go back, Jaden. I do want to go ahead and give you a single rose, a single flower, because I do believe upon reflection that you did use allegory correctly. I was truly just thinking about the word, but then you were like, didn't read that many books. And I'm like, well, that could be his truth. I'll go with it. I do believe that you used it correctly, though. And now he's gone because he's crying off camera, I think.
Good night.
Oh, now he's coming back.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure I used this correctly, actually. But
baby, confidence is key.
I never knew.
You shouldn't have backed down.
Child. We can't back down.
Not right now.
Sorry.
Not right. No, that's the line from the song.
No, I know, but I thought you were telling me not right now, but also singing the line from the song. It was cute.
No, that would have been good, but I can't keep shutting you down. Oh.
Anyway, yeah, it was just interesting that was the Met Gala theme and like the context just for there to be a genocide going on.
Did nobody stop and think, Actually, you know what? They probably did stop and think, and it just furthers the like, let's distract them because while we're digging into the lore of this story, we're still not thinking about the thing. We're not keeping
Yes.
the main thing because we're too busy like,
And
whoa, let
it's
me find a
clicks.
screen grab
It's
from
clicks.
right,
It's clicks. It's advertising. Bad, whatever is still good PR. Like
whatever.
bad PR is still good PR. And for the
Bad whatever,
story,
still good, whatever, yeah.
it's still good, whatever, child. And for the story to literally be about the way money, wealth, and like esteem and status does not stop you from dying.
No.
Like, what are we talking about?
And like I saw a couple of the looks, they were good, but sometimes it feels like sometimes the girls are just reading the theme and not the prompt. And
Yeah,
that's
well, no, they
okay.
absolutely are. They're reading the theme and not the prompt. They're reading Garden of Time. They're like garden flowers, cute. And of course, the quote
You
of the
said
week
garden?
was flowers in floral for spring. How original from
Groundbreaking. Oh, you know
oh
I
yeah,
know it.
groundbreaking. Yeah,
Come on. Flowers in springtime. Groundbreaking. I thought you were gonna say I give you Paris in springtime.
girl, this is not the blacks.
Well, I did see a couple there.
No, I'm saying
Did you
who are
see
saying this thing. This has to be
oh,
more,
the whites were giving it.
and it's
Okay.
fashion, child. So Devil Wears Prada was going to be quoted.
Obviously. I mean, obviously. I also the ticket, like for real, where is the money going?
You
Each
know how much these
ticket, I
tickets
think
are?
I read is what 75,000, or is that made up? Because that does not make sense to me.
Uh huh.
I genuinely don't see
And then
how
three hundred
that's
fifty thousand
justified.
for a table.
But like for what though? Because it's not like you're renting out a hall. Like that building is already there.
It goes towards the Met.
I don't care though.
But
Because
that's
what
one
does that
thing.
even
It goes
mean?
towards the
The
institute
establishment.
or something like that.
Girl, I
But
don't
my thing
care
is,
about that.
why can't y'all find something else to give money towards? Because y'all give
Hello?
this exorbitant amount every year. They have enough.
They have enough. They got funds from 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Why not pretend to care a little bit and have the theme correlate with the cause, maybe, and then pick a different cause to support every year? Even though the celebrities showing up are not going to really care about the cause, it doesn't matter
No,
because the cause still gets the money. You know,
that's like AOC wearing Tex the Rich.
she's
Girl,
so funny for that. She's so silly for
she's
that. But
so
girl,
annoying.
I know, and I'm so embarrassed that I really loved her.
We all did.
The North remembers.
Child,
I used to stay posting her on my Insta.
we all
I
loved
love me some
AOC.
her.
We
I mean,
did.
I know what happened. I know what
2020,
happened.
but it was because it was Trump. And
You couldn't tell
no
me nothing.
shade. No shade. And I know how you guys are successful. I think y'all need another Trump presidency.
Hmm.
And let me tell you why. Because
Yeah.
the last time y'all cared
Mm,
about politics,
mm.
Trump was in office.
Yeah. When
When
the people
a
get like,
Republican is there, y'all care. When a Democrat is there, they're like, "Oh,
they're
we
so
good.
passive. They're
We
passive.
complacent. We good. Whatever he got going on, we
Yeah,
fine."
that's fine. Rob, he's a Democrat, so what's the worst? That baby, he's the same actually. The only difference is the hairline, really. Like it's the same guy and different skin, but the skin is similar. I'll give you that.
Yes.
I really like. I can't even say on this podcast because I just feel like it would get back to my mother, and I don't want her to have to pull me to the side. I can't even say how discuss my true feelings about the current president. Like I just really cannot stand that man. Like that's all I will say on it. But like
And Mamala.
the deaths, girl, I get. I mean, I stand her more than the other one. I can't stand her either, but him.
No. I
There
think the
is
other one of
nothing redeemable about him at
them.
all. Like nothing. I do not like that man. And I'm
And
not
did you see
sorry.
her and Drew Barrymore when she got called Mamala?
Say psych quickly, Jaden.
I'm not going to. I'm going to say Psych Ward, but I'm not going to say Psych. Why? It's Drew Barrymore. We know Drew. She's
First of
really
all, because I
starting.
thought we were leaving her in the past after she crossed the line. She's a rat. I thought we were leaving her.
Okay,
Didn't
why
you
are you? Why is Kamala Harris on Drew Barrymore's show getting talked about Drew Barrymore like she's a child, and then says, "Right now in this world, we need mama." Proceeds to touch her hair and face,
Her what?
like grabs, "We need mama," like touches her. Kamala was like, you know, that press was like, girl, you don't touch this.
She had to suppress that black, like face and hair is crazy.
I cannot stand Drew Barrymore. Like I used
I
to,
can't stand her
I used to
either.
like her until she did the SAG after thing. That really threw me all the way to the left. There's probably times before that really was pissing me off. But you know, I love 51st Dates. I love 51st Dates, and she had me.
That's
She
a
did.
TBS classic. That's a classic right there.
Then you call her Mamala. This is the
What
violence
we need is
of white women.
Mama.
This is the violence of white women.
No, that's literally it right there. Packaged so precisely on
You're
television.
telling, in not only is this lady a war criminal and also a cop and also plenty other things, she's also a black woman. So you now putting it on the first black woman vice president to be Mamala for the country.
And this is what we need.
Girl,
we need her to be a mom. What does that even mean? Like,
what are you talking about?
I wish that people could be like real and true, like instead of being so PR trained. I would love for Kamala to be like, and what do you mean by that exactly? Like, what exactly is it that you'll have me to do?
Don't touch me. Explain.
Number one, get your hands off me. They smell like mayo.
Because I know they're not clean.
Clammy.
The way you be crawling around on this floor with no shoes on, trying to hug your gas, get up and get off.
What we need is
Mama.
I knew she was too through with that hair touch. I knew it was just giving static.
I know Drew was so excited to see that.
Her producers were backstage jumping up and down, getting like children. We got her, baby. This is the Twitter clip.
They was in the writing room that morning, and they were talking about the schedule for the day, and she was like, "You know what I've been thinking about?
That is a big day.
You know what I thought about in the shower this morning? Mamala." And they was like, "Ooh,
that's good."
And the one black girl that they hired was like, "I don't know."
Well,
and they're like, "Shut up."
They were like, "You're so against change."
Okay, and it's like, how are we supposed to move forward if we aren't able to? Why don't we take a vote? And
this is that
they quick to outvote you at a job. They're just like, whenever you're actually making a point, they want to bring in democracy.
Right.
Every time, every chance they get, now it's time to bring in democracy because all the fascists is in the room.
What we need right now, actually, Mamala. And what was she? Okay, let's just say that made sense. Like, let's say she actually didn't touch her face, so she wouldn't be distracted by that. What in her mind is the response to that? Clap, clap, clap commercial? Like, no response. What can a person even say to that?
That's what it was.
Yes, I need the call.
Audience clapped, and then they went to commercial.
Because what could she even have said? You're so right.
Nothing. It's time to start talking about preparation age. Like,
she literally just called her a mammy on national television.
Literally a mammy. Literally mammied her.
She said, "We need you to be a black mother to our nation." Are you being for real?
Entire nation. I'm sorry, the first black mother. Like, can we also address that this is the first? She said, "Mama, we need a doula."
Birth us into a new nation. Did she just say
we need a wet nurse for her for America?
We need to suckle on your tit. The American needs milk, and you are here to provide it for us, mother. Mother, may I have a sip of milk? What was she thinking? She wasn't.
Thank you. I was literally about to say it, but you beat me to it.
Genuinely, I don't even think people really watch the show so much as they just watch the clips. Because I don't
Absolutely.
see anybody talking about how they like the show, just the clips. And no shade, I really don't want to have to bring in a black queen and drag her, but she's going to have to catch a couple strays for this. Same thing with Jennifer Hudson's show. I don't know that people are
Let
watching
me
the
tell you something.
show.
Or just watching the clips. And
if there
maybe
is a show beyond the clips.
Maybe it's just how capitalism has gotten us to the point where daytime TV is not really worth it because none of us actually have the ability to be at home. And if you are at home, you likely don't have TV or cable or whatever. Like it's a several options thing where y'all just have to get adjusted to the new numbers because I doubt anyone outside of people who are originally watching Oprah when it first came on TV are still watching this, because even the Kelly Clarkson show, I'm like, Mama, I get it. And I much rather you just have a YouTube channel because I only ever want to hear you sing songs. And I don't want to hear you do it here. So it's like, same thing with Jennifer. Just not. Just don't.
I don't even know where you could watch it if you wanted to.
I don't
like. How can
I couldn't name you all the daytime shows that are on right now.
You could just start naming celebrities, and you probably had a couple. When did Jennifer even get a show? Like, I just looked up.
Jennifer almost came back when Drew came back. She was ready to jump, and Drew stuck her neck out first. She was the mama.
The original.
The original.
That's so embarrassing. And this is why she didn't win American Idol. She was never the American Idol. No, that was shady Fantasia for no reason at all. Fantasia would never. Imagine having
they're not giving her that
decade of correct. Imagine having a decade of success and other accolades, and people are still like, and that's why you didn't win American Idol.
Like, imagine Lily being EGOT and like
wait, what? American? Why did that?
We're like, you could never. This is why you're never going to win that American Idol. Then this is why,
this is why America ain't got talent for you. Like, wait, whoa, okay.
Mind you, this is Effie from Dreamgirls. Like, we really need to remove it.
Oscar award winning, but still, Fantasia would never. Like we said, did you know that Lauryn Hill was initially supposed to play Beyonce's role in Dreamgirls? Does that make sense to you? Because it really did not make sense to me when I first heard it. I don't see it.
That's not even funny.
I don't see her in the movie at all.
I don't see her in most movies at all. Besides Sister Act 2, I actually don't want to see her in a movie again.
She did really well in that movie, though.
Really well.
She was so angsty.
We have why were the Fugees in cahoots with the CIA? And so was NWA.
I listened to a whole podcast episode about Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. Like, I can't even get into it. It's just too much. She's like really sick, actually.
She's really problematic. Yeah.
She's really twisted. Like, it's crazy. Like, people chalk it up to like a little. She's always like, baby, it's more than that.
Yeah.
I did not know about the NWA, though. I don't know where you heard that from. Cite your sources, King.
I made it that thing.
Wait, no. The idea of you making it up is actually hilarious. I know that you did it, but just to imagine you did is really funny. I mean, so honestly,
we want to say, speaking of really funny.
Yeah, truly. I didn't want to say it. I'm trying to think of another in. Okay, so whatever. There's no other in. We've hit so many bullet points that aren't written down that it's like whatever. So as you all know, Raven-Symoné, the iconic woman that she is, for all her problematicness as well. Mm-hmm. Honestly, shout out to her, because for a real good chunk of time, people were really done with her because she was just so ignorant on TV. Like, baby, what are you?
But it's funny because it was over one thing, but now everything you say, you're getting dragged. And the thing she said wasn't even like wrong, as much as it was just not a smart thing to say.
It doesn't matter. She shouldn't have said. Just kidding. But the worst of her offenses is No, I'm not going to preface it like that. She's married to this white woman, um, who I literally don't know, other than being Raven's wife. But and this is the marvel of white women, like you were saying. Whatever you said about Drew Barrymore is true for her as well, because for you to get on an interview, let me go back and preface it because people have said that we just jump into the topic without ever
We do.
introducing it. Because you should know what we're talking about. Read the newsletter. Raven's wife goes on interviews all the time, and she's made her shtick that she didn't know Raven before they got married. It's the same thing that now this is embarrassing because I forgot that person's name as well. Yep.
Gabby
No,
Douglas.
the other one.
No.
The other one.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. Same thing her husband did.
I always say Gabby Douglas every time I mean Simone Biles, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm doing it again. Every time.
No, the other one. Wait, Simone Biles. Gabby Douglas.
Gabby Biles.
Correct. Same thing where it's like it's not cute, clever, or like it's nothing. Like it doesn't make you look anything but bad to say you didn't know who your ultra celebrity.
Everyone else.
Like I think maybe they try to do it to like beat the rumors of gold diggery, but it's like
yes.
Now you just look like you live in a cave. Like now you're getting
Raven Simone was. Are you more?
You don't know Raven Simone? Not even because those girls they were tuned in too.
They are.
Everybody knows Raven. Are you serious? She's on everything. She was in everywhere. She was everywhere. So that's her whole thing. And then they did an interview, and people just were like, enough is enough, baby. The first time we could have let you slide with that, even if that was your introduction story of how y'all met. We're not even talking about how y'all met anymore. We're just talking about a thing, and you piping up to say, turn her mic off.
Okay.
Why are you speaking up to say, I don't know that song? You don't know Cheetahs, Amigas, Friends for Life? Anyway, so then people started attacking her, going in, coming for her neck, like, girl, how dare you don't know Raven the Queen. And then Raven made a video with the wife next to her and was like, enough is enough. Leave my wife alone. Very Will Smith vibes. And I get it because in what world would somebody not defend their wife? Like, even if you cuss her out behind closed doors, you're not going to get on the internet and be like, y'all was right. My wife is trifling. You're just not going to do it. So, like, Raven, I get it, girl. The gun was to your back. You had to do what you had to do. And Raven was saying that people were sending her wife death threats. Jane and I talked about this briefly before we got on. I'm not really seeing the correlation between not knowing the Cheetah Girls soundtrack and then somebody needing to die for that, though.
No.
I don't get that. That was too far.
But I struggle with the death threats thing. Only because.
Because you issue them as well.
Sure. I cannot confirm or deny that accusation. But
bless you.
Okay. What I will say, it's annoying that everyone screams that, but I don't necessarily. It's not that I don't think that it's true, but I feel like they're bots. Like I doubt these are real people, or if they are real people, they are 5 and 12 and like
so not real people yet. Exactly.
You see them like even the housewives. You know they love. We receive death threats because of this, and it's like Marlo getting her house broken into. That's one thing. Nikki getting her house raided. That's one thing.
That's another thing.
You talking about some account with 14 followers sent you death threats? I'm sorry, I just can't take this seriously. I just can't.
I did not know this was going to be your stance when you told me.
It is, but only because like I'm exhausted. Like everyone goes to this, and maybe it's the fatigue of kind of this, of like I got death threats, and it's like, did you really?
Jaden, your tune was slightly different when you had me type this down. wait a minute. Now, you did not have me intro this topic just to say it's fake. Jaden said, I do not believe black women.
I do, and that's not who we're talking about here. We're talking about the wife.
Well,
not, and it's not to say she did not receive them or she could not have received them. And I really think, and it probably has nothing to do with any of these people at all. It's just fatiguing that everyone loves this. Like everyone uses this to try and get to, like, it's not funny at all, but it's like
You're sick.
they use it to garner like a reaction as
Oh, yeah, that's true.
if every single person who's gone viral, who is a celeb, who is a friend of a celeb or a partner of a celeb, that's all received the same every time. Every time, and y'all use it to try and like, I received death threats for this, and it's like, okay,
This is good. Because you literally were in tears talking about enough is enough. Celebrities should not be receiving death threats. Write that down. Let's talk about it. And here you are.
girl, I said these people are ridiculous, and they love toting this around because they want you to feel bad for them, but it's like
It might not happen.
I don't. I usually
Yeah.
never feel bad because they're usually 9 years old doing it, and then I can understand it affecting you a certain way. Like I'm not going to deny like it may affect you and you may take it a certain way because people do not realize like kind of the demographics of social media truly. But between the housewives and spouses to celebrities, I'm really exhausted.
I just miss the era where celebrity spouses were seen and not heard. I don't even know what Oprah's boyfriend sounds like.
I barely even know what he looks like.
And I know his name.
What's his name?
I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah, I was just saying not to be. I was just saying to be petty. I knew his name, and I do know what he looks like. Could I pick him out of a lineup? No. I know he's taller than her. These celebrity husbands, these celebrity wives, celebrity whatevers. Why can't you just beat that? I don't. You know what? I think it's the era of, and it's been going on for a while. Power couple. I'm bored of that as well. I'm very much over that. We don't need those
over
anymore.
these couples in general. I'm tired of y'all arguing about men being protectors and providers, and they have never been that. So I don't understand why y'all keep trying to say.
And because it's like, what are they protecting you against? Other men. Exactly.
And the same man that's supposed to be protecting you is also harming you. So it's like these men are not providers, and I need you to let this fantasy go that you want one because you. I'm not getting into this again. We have to move on because I'm about to.
Yeah, because I don't even know how we got there. That felt like you were waiting to bring that one up.
I thought about it earlier today in general, so us kind of leading into there, it wasn't hard.
I think that's ending this segment with the Raven's wife death threats after talking about like a genocide is making it even worse. Where it's like, I really don't care about a threat from a 12-year-old.
When there's people being murdered. When 12-year-olds are being murdered, also on the internet.
Younger babies, infants. Anyway, so that was the catch.
And it's about you not knowing who your wife was. Like, I need you to be serious.
It's that. First of all,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
embarrassed. Are you trying to say I wasn't a huge celebrity star? What are you trying to say?
And even, I'm not.
You never heard of me.
But even if you are receiving death threats about not knowing your wife, your wife, does it matter? It's the death threats part, but like. If you don't care and you keep trying to say like you clearly do care because you keep bringing it up. No one's asking you to bring this up.
Nobody.
You love talking about it actually.
Nobody.
But then to receive death threats about this thing, like you act like you said I love Israel and then you receive death threats. Girl, you talking about something that literally does not matter.
Not even relevant.
Literally, and we don't even know you enough to never mind. Almost finished that thought, and I'm going to save it.
Girl, bite that tongue.
I'll tell you afterwards, but I'm not saying it on here.
Oh, she gets nasty. So that was the catch. Yeah, that was the
Mm-hmm.
catch. Take it or leave it. There is none. There hasn't been one for a while, partially because I haven't been harassing people to give me their messiest deeds. But I may start doing that again, but I really don't want to source it like that anymore. I want to do it the old fashioned way, the honest way. Email us your questions to challengewaypod@gmail.com or on social media. I know you guys are needing advice. It's been months since
And
we
y'all
talked
love
to.
it. Y'all, this is your favorite segment, but y'all don't ever want to ask us for nothing.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying. It's kind of
but I understand. It is definitely a muddy water situation, child,
it's
because we will
jarring.
drag you. We're gonna drag you.
Far, far and hard.
So tell us your friend's business.
And that's what I was doing before. I'm like, well, you don't have to
And
tell me
just
your
change
business.
the
Tell me any
context.
business.
Yeah,
Just
tell me
change the
any
name.
business.
Tell me any business, but make sure it's juicy.
Okay. Don't be
Challengewaypod
telling
at
me that you ain't
Gmail.
know your wife before she was like, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. If it's about your wife, let it be like adultery or something. Something fun. Maybe financial drama. Maybe you stole her inheritance. Something good. Um, Now it's time for, I mean, the look into it, this whole time, our look into it segment, haven't really been doing it because we really talk about it in the catch. And I would hope that it goes without saying, maybe it doesn't. Anything that's like political or humanity vibes, you should probably just keep looking into it as the story unfolds. Like, I don't think anybody is waiting for Mondays or whenever we post to get their source of news. But, I just want to say again, anything we talk about in the catch, continue to look into it besides Raven's wife or whatever.
Yeah. Don't look
um
up.
don't look her in the eyes. Now it's time for Thank Me Later. This is where Jaden and I are like, you know what we're listening to, you know what we're doing, eating, consuming. You should do it too. You're welcome in advance. So last week I had a bunch. I should have post dated those checks so I could have something to talk about today. I do have one that I literally just got today, like an hour before we started recording. Dua Lipa, Dua Lipa, is that how you say it, right?
Mm,
I want to say Dua Lipa so bad. Dua
I know.
Lipa's new album, May 5th or whatever, Radical Optimism. It's quick. It's like 37 minutes. It's classic Dula. It's good. It's fun. It's a bop. It's a feel good. Whatever. She just makes good music. If you like Dula, you're gonna like this. Like,
Right.
it's fine. You like pop, you're gonna like it. I like it. It's fun. And that's
And it's
literally
not
all
so
I have.
similar where it feels redundant.
No, have you heard this one?
I didn't finish it, but I started it.
Yeah. I also have like 3 songs left, but yeah, it
I
was
know I
fun.
have. I've only 3 songs in. So
That's far.
sorry, my dog is doing something weird. What are you doing?
Oh my goodness, not the dog.
What's in your mouth?
Mm.
You'll be addressed. Hold on. So for my Thank Me Later, what the hell are you doing?
Jaden, baby.
I'm sorry, but he's kind of scaring
The
me a little
people
bit.
are on the edge of their seats right now.
I'm sorry. So my Thank Me Later is one Willow Smith dropped a contemporary jazz album called Empathogen. And let's just say that I haven't really been able to listen to much of anything else
Mm.
because it has been on constant repeat, baby. I love this album. And
This is a good one.
it's so good. I'm feeling so. It's so good. And to the point where like my uncles was even sending it in a group chat, and I'm like, yeah, like y'all need to tap in. Like no shade, Willow
Yes.
is eating girls. So following that, another album that, another music that also dropped. Raven Lene, we know her, we love her. She announced that her album Bird's Eye was coming in, I want to say August, but she released 2 singles and 1 video for Love Is Blind and I believe Love Me Not is the other song. And
Oh yes.
both are absolutely great tracks. Love is Blind is very R&B and fun, nice up mid-tempo beat, and then Love Me Not is more like 60s boppy kind of sound. Very cute. Loved it. Another album that dropped finally. She's been dropping single after single after single, but I've just been waiting for the album to come out. Rachel Chinoriri. Good luck. What a devastating turn of events. I've been in my alternative bag and I've really been winning. Good. It's so good. And it's a nice long body of work. So it's like perfect for playing while you're, especially when you don't know. And I feel like it's okay to play while you're doing work kind of things because like I'm not focused on the words. So like it's good for that. It's good for cleaning. It's good for like a walk and like introspection. So I highly recommend all three of those bodies of work. I love women making music. I love Black women making music. And
now I'm embarrassed because the only non-Black artist on this list I have brought to the table. I'm so embarrassed.
And you should be. So this has been another episode of Anyway.
You can listen to Ciao. Anyway, wherever you listen to your podcast.
I'm like, you trying to rush me.
I was so busy looking at you talking to this dog. I'm like, what is he saying over there?
We drop new episodes every week.
Maybe. Like, share, subscribe, rate and review. One time for good measure, rate and review. Because people, and make sure that it goes through. Because people be like, just put a review in. You didn't. I did not see a review.
Go stream Radical Optimism by Dua Lipa. Go stream Empathogen by Willow. The 2 tracks from Bird's Eye by Raven Lene and What a Devastating Turn of Events by Rachel Chinoriri. Go look up Gaza, the Republic of the Congo, Haiti, Sudan, Hawaii,
Puerto Rico,
America. There's plenty of research to be done.
Puberty?
Hello. There's plenty of research to be done. Go watch. I'm gonna put the link to Fatima's video in our link tree on Instagram and essentially everywhere else. And I'll probably post something about it so y'all will know. Highly like required reading. Please go watch that video. I'll also try and put the other document I had talked about with kind of getting caught up on kind of the history and what's going on. Yeah, keep fighting on. You also have to fight on for yourself. It's easy sometimes to fight for others, but hardest to fight for ourselves. Audre Lorde has a great essay in Sister Outsider, transforming. Hold on, it's literally right here.
Silence.
Hold on.
Is it silence?
But I don't. I just read her poetry is not a luxury.
First of all, you're a snake because I just returned that book to the library. I did not know you were reading it.
Girl, this is my copy.
So you're even more of a snake.
Well, I didn't buy it also.
It doesn't change the snakeness, baby.
Sure.
Tell us what the name of the essay is.
Boa by Megan Thee Stallion out now. She said the transformation of silence into action.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to die, if not sooner than later, whether or not I had ever spoken myself. My silences had not protected me. And like, it's important for us to stand up for ourselves along with standing up for others. And the radical that you will become about you is the radical you become about those being mass murdered other places. So let the revolution run through you. You are a part of it. We need you. We need your body. We need your voice. We need your mind. We need your breath, your love, your happiness, your joy, your resources. We need your trauma, your story. We need it all. for clear skin. Okay, bye.
Bye.